Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Enfield Today. I am your host, Kevin Kibbe. We have got a great show tonight. We have got the Parent Leadership Academy. They're doing an Enfield town-wide tag sale, and we've got three of the members of the group with us here. Melissa Griffith, we have Leslie Lawler, and Mr. Scott Ryder. Guys, welcome to Enfield Today.
Thanks for having us.
Okay. Melissa, the Parent Leadership Academy, you are a facilitator. Leslie is a facilitator as well, and Scott is a board member. What is the Parent Leadership Academy? Like, what is it about?
Well, it's a 12-week program that we offer each year in February. We have a one-day Saturday retreat that is an all-day function where we require those applicants that have been accepted to the program to do some team building and get to know each other. Okay. We follow up with the rest of the weeks on Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 8:30. Childcare included, dinner included each week.
Wow.
It's free to all anybody that applies and then gets accepted into the program. It's free for them. And each week we bring in people that are experts in the topics that we're talking about. So each week we do that.
And we got a little slide coming up, and it shows you guys' mission statement. That it's a program to inspire and engage parent leaders for children and families in Enfield, Connecticut. Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a great thing, and what you guys are doing is fantastic, and it helps out in a lot of ways. And you know, how did it come about? I mean, who started it, when?
Well, we're in our 13th year, so this is our class 13, which is amazing. 13 years ago, Mass Mutual decided to reach out to our partnership coordinator, which is Amy Bibro in the town of Enfield for the school system, and find out if there was any parent leadership courses available or happening in the town as of then, which there weren't, and they wondered if we would collaborate with them. So Mass Mutual for the first 3 years funded the program. We brought in Greater Hartford to help with the curriculum for the program. And then by year 3, they decided that, you know, their community giving project and what they were focusing on was kind of going down a different avenue.
Gotcha.
So they decided that they were going to wean off their funding, which was very lucky for us. That same year, it happened that the state of Connecticut decided that they would start funding programs such as our program.
Nice.
So since that third year and on and continuing, they have been helping, the state of Connecticut has been helping fund our program.
Good for you, because, I know this is all like what you said earlier about free to the applicants who get accepted, that the dinner and all the gas and all this stuff, it cannot be inexpensive either. And for the state to help, or, you know, this town-wide tag sale, I'm sure that, you know, is helpful. And that in and of itself is a neat thing, because who doesn't like a tag sale? Now, and I mean, trust me, I've been married 25 years. She loves tag sales. There could be a little stand on the side of the road. We're pulling over. Walk us through the program a little bit, though. Like, what would I learn and do if I were in or wanted to join? Like, why would I want to join your guys' group? We've got some slides on this to help out as well. So, go ahead.
So the Parent Leadership Academy we bring in facilitators that are experts in the topic. So each week we bring in leaders that are familiar with conflict resolution, leadership styles. We offer those that are taking the class to work with community leaders.
And we're looking at the first one right now. So
that's it. Productive meetings. Yep.
Okay.
Productive meetings, conflict resolution, leadership style, and how to effectively, confidently speak in public in any group setting.
And then the next slide that's coming up here in a moment goes over some other things. This one here, I don't know if you can read that, but
that is the sheet that we hand out with anybody that applies to be in the program, because we have a max cap of 15 applicants that get accepted into the program each year. So this is something that we hand out to them that gives a little rundown of what is required. It's for any parent that lives in Enfield or at least has a child in Enfield. That's the only requirement. When we meet, what's included, how it's free, how we use it. You need an internet, because we do a lot through the internet and stuff like that. So
now, say you have 300 applicants. It's a good year. You have 300 applicants, but you have to get to 15. How do you guys pick through those? Is there criteria that you use, or?
No, that would be wonderful. We get 300 applicants
Right.
each year. That's wonderful. Although that right up there, that's showing you all of our graduates up to date. So we have 134 graduates, which is amazing. So it's kind of on a first come first serve basis if they can fill the criteria that we expect. So,
I see. Okay.
because Saturday is we do one Saturday retreat every year in February, followed by the Thursday evening classes. The Saturday retreat, which is an all day, like a 9 to 3:30 event, is a mandatory. So sometimes it's hard with families with children and so forth or jobs. So if they can't make that Saturday, kind of bumps them until they can. We always kind of put them on a waiting list and offer it again.
Right. And you must have, like this photo, it's one of the retreats, I
Yes,
assume,
that
where
is the retreat on
team
a Saturday.
building.
Team building. That day is to get everyone to know each other, get team building, get them comfortable. So when we come into our first class, we hit the floor running.
So you don't want that globe to fall on that poor
Right,
girl underneath,
absolutely.
'cause that would
Right,
kind of
absolutely.
stink.
Absolutely.
So you both went through it. All guys, all three of you went
Yep.
through?
Yep.
Okay. Each of you, just give me a brief couple minutes. Like, what was your experience like going through, going through it?
Want me to
Yeah,
start?
go ahead, go for it.
So I graduated class 6 in 2011.
Okay.
My daughter had just started first grade, and I was trying to find a way to get more involved in the town and more involved in her school. And the flyer came home through the schools. It looked really interesting to me, so I filled out the application. I was hoping I was going to meet a lot of people who were in the same boat as me.
Sure.
And then when I got to the class and I saw the curriculum for the class, it was nice because I work full time, and a lot of the topics that they talked about were very relevant to my job at the time. So it benefited me professionally and personally with the conflict resolution and productive meetings. And after that, after I graduated, I went and I started attending PTO meetings, and then from there joined the board on my daughter's PTO, and since then I've held board positions on multiple PTOs for both of my daughter's schools. So it's kind of a safe place to let you get your leadership skills and
Sure.
practice them, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
go
yeah.
out and use them.
If you look at most of our alumni, or a good majority of them, after they've taken the course, they're our PTO presidents, they're on our town council, they're on our board of ed.
good for you.
They've started FE, they've started different programs and committees in town. So it's proven that our program is successful and wonderful, and it vital to the community. So they've gone out and have done wonderful things.
It sounds
being parent leadership.
really important.
It is. And it is. It's a tricky one. People say parent leadership. They think it's, sometimes people ask what it is, and it has a tricky name because people think it's maybe parenting classes, and we are not that at all. So it's not anything to do with parenting or
Right.
advice for parenting or teaching anything with your children. It's for you to empower yourself, whatever journey you might be on, teaching you those leadership skills so you can go out and get empowered, and then go out and empower others in our community.
Yeah, and what's neat about that, and I haven't forgotten you, Scott, because we're going to ask you, but what's neat about that is you can use those skills anywhere.
Absolutely.
Anywhere in life
Right.
that you
Yep.
go. Like
Yep.
you said, town council, but your
Yep.
job, you're just wherever. That is really neat. What was your experience like, Scott?
Well, I took the class for a different reason. We had just moved here the year prior, and I work from home, so I have no coworkers. My daughter had also just started in kindergarten at Hazardville Memorial, and I run meetings and events as a trade. I do, video production, and
That's kinda
so what I took the class for was to network, and I think that's the most valuable tool that a lot of us get out of it is the networking aspect. You
Sure.
might take the class to feel more comfortable public speaking, and you might have taken the class to get more involved with your school's PTO or to find some life skills or job skills. But we all get networking out of it. And I can tell you that prior to taking the class, and I was in class 9, which was January to May 2014, I knew only a handful of my kindergarten daughter's parents because I
Sure.
worked from home. So I took the class to meet people. That's where I met our mayor at the time. We had, because people will come that our town manager, our mayor, again, to what Melissa was saying, it evolves around the topic that week. And 5, 6 years later, I run the PTO at one school. I help out at another. I volunteer all throughout school, and now I'm also on the Board of Education here in Enfield. So
Nice. And it's awesome. I mean, it really is. And like when you touched upon speakers for like conflict resolution and other things, Where do they come from? Like, who decides who's coming what week? And is it you guys, or is it somebody above you?
Yes, it was my other facilitator, Lisa, and myself, that we've used the same people for years. So we bring in new
okay.
people, but ones
I
that
see.
we've started the curriculum with years ago. Majority of the leaders have been with us for 8, 9, 10 years.
So they come back and
Right.
they basically teach the same thing.
Right.
But I mean, it's amazing because the stuff you can use it anywhere and everywhere.
Right.
And a lot of the people that we invite are experts in their field.
Right.
So we wouldn't want to deviate.
Oh yeah,
From that,
right. But what better way to get a well-rounded curriculum and a knowledge of things? We do the same thing in my work where it seems like everybody is good at something.
Yep.
Right.
So they talk about what they're good at, and you take something from each person, and eventually you build your own, whatever. And that's just kind of neat because it just well-rounds you. Now I may be filling out an application. So, for real, this is cool. And I'm a very community-driven person, and this kind of stuff it's all about community and getting
Yes.
to meet other people
what
and
it
getting
is.
to know and helping out your neighbors. And this
And
is
that's
good.
a big thing that what Scott, to piggyback off what Scott was saying, the networking, we have so many applicants that come, and when they join the class and we start getting within the class and getting busy, we spend a little bit of time always sharing what's going on in the community or any events happening. And what happens is we find out that many of those sitting there didn't know we have so many resources, that
Oh, I'll
Enfield
bet.
offers so many committees and resources and avenues through education and different pieces that a lot of them didn't realize we offer. So they walk away with an amount of knowledge that they didn't have coming in. And,
Oh, I'll bet.
yeah.
And I bet you, so too, like some of your guys, former graduates may end up coming back as the facilitator
We have.
for it already.
We've had them come in during our networking night for community. We bring
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
town council, board of ed, alumni, those that may have started or now PTO presidents or have started committees of their own. So we do invite them back. To
Very
share.
cool. So the town-wide tag sale is run by the association. Tell me a bit how that got started. I guess you've been doing it for a few years now. This is the 8th year, is that
Yeah.
correct? So I don't maybe who, but how did it get started? I mean, who rolled it out?
Yeah, so each class, when you end your class, you have to do a community project. My class, the community project was the townwide tag sale. So we have a brainstorming session, and we come up with ideas. I am a self-proclaimed tag sale addict.
Yay,
So,
I know what you mean. I'm not, but I live with one.
so I had the idea of getting all the best tag sales on one day and just an easy way to find them. So we voted on it as a group, and everybody decided on it, and that was our project. Our first year, we had 20 addresses on the map, which was our goal, and we met our goal. And it was great. It was a map of the town, and then everybody's addresses are plotted, so you can find the tag sales. We put the signs out at their houses and on the streets. So yeah, it was wonderful. And then following that, we said, this might be something that's sustainable that we can continue doing.
Sure.
So the following years, a couple of my classmates and I kept going. We added Scott in a few years later. Yep,
So that's what
Yep,
we're
that's
looking
what
at
it
now.
looks
Is
like.
like one of the maps. Is that this map?
That's
or is
last
it, Okay. That's last year's map. but
yeah,
it's
so that's
just-
much more than 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And so, okay, so
growing and growing.
they're all on the same day and the same hours.
Yes.
And people, you basically have a map. You go bing, 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 and wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So we've grown considerably over the last few years. Yeah. We also, when we were trying to come up with our project, we wanted to obviously give back to the community.
Sure.
So we decided that we were going to have all the proceeds go to the Enfield Food Shelf.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
every person that pays to get their address on the map, the check is made directly out to the food shelf, tax deductible for them. The tag sale doesn't cost us a lot of money to run, so we didn't have a reason to bring in the funds to us.
Every penny goes to the
Yes,
food shelf.
every penny goes
It
to the
has
food
for
shelf.
years.
Yep.
That's so neat. And do you have an idea how much you guys must have raised? Quite a bit
Yep.
over the.
We have, yeah.
We've raised over $8,700.
Oh, good for you.
Yep.
That's so cool. And I like myself. I like the food shelf. Just things that we've done for them as well. And this is so neat that like how many people like. The first year might have been a smaller one, so you guys must be getting more and more addresses each year,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah, I think
Yep.
Scott's got our stats there.
go
Well,
ahead.
Yeah, no, I can give you specific
Please.
stats.
I
Like
would love
Leslie
it.
said, the first year out of the gate, they had 20, which was their goal.
Still a good number.
It grew steadily for a few years. I joined in doing the online marketing because I noticed when I met Leslie and she's like, oh, we do the tag sale annually with the PLA alumni, Parent Leadership Academy alumni, the graduates. We want to continue this growing. And I was like, oh, we need more of an online presence, et cetera. So once we started the online marketing and really spreading the word through things like the Enfield Open Forum and things of that nature, we hit 61 addresses in 2015.
Wow.
And then last year was our record. It's grown steadily every year, 30-40%. So last year we had 122 addresses.
Oh my goodness.
In 1 year. Yeah. So when you go pick up the map at local businesses, we haven't locked in this year's distributors yet, so I don't want to say.
Right.
But in the past, you could go pick up the map at ShopRite. You could pick up the map at Angelina's restaurant diner, at the 2 libraries. So you didn't need to be on our Facebook page. You could just be at the grocery store and see these maps sitting out, which they were kind enough to hand out for us.
Sure.
So you'd get your map with 122 addresses, and
goodness.
good luck if you hit half of them. But
Wow,
people
right?
go out and they do
It's
that.
so fun.
Now, is it a one-day thing?
It's one
Yeah.
day, yes,
I
from
mean,
9 to 3.
You guys
Yep.
could do it in the 2 days or even 2 weekends with
Yeah.
that many addresses.
The problem is it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We have
Signs,
to get, so
both
we
signs.
have a sign for every house and then
Okay.
a sign for every cross street. So usually most streets have 2 ends.
Gotcha.
That
so you
we
figure
that we pay for and provide.
Right, yep.
Right.
And that's where the funds
Nope.
go.
Every penny goes to the food
Yeah,
shelf.
no,
Right,
that was
but you're
from our
getting
own
funds
budget.
from other places for the
Nope.
signs and whatnot?
We just fundraise for them.
Wow.
Yeah,
good
we'll
for
have
you
like a
guys.
paint night.
Yeah.
We'll have a quarter auction. We'll do a separate fundraiser to raise the couple $100 we need for the signs.
And that's what we're looking at
Yep,
now,
that's
is
the
one of the
signs.
signs.
Right.
Yeah.
So on that, so 3 days before, we start putting the signs out. And so
That
there's
in and
kind
of
of,
itself is a lot of work.
it's
Yes.
a huge undertaking.
And I
yeah.
can tell you that
Yep.
there's only 2 or 3 people that do it.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
could
Holy
use
smokes.
volunteers for
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
Anyone.
I
Right?
take a day off from work, and my classmate Tessa Rivera, she and I, we basically every year we've done it. We enjoy it. I mean, it's part of the fun for us. So yeah, we drive around, and then we also know where all of the tag sales are. So I have a leg up on everybody else because I know where
Get
they
your
are
stuff
and
first.
where I'm shopping.
Could you share
That's-
this year's tag sale date with everybody since we're
It
here?
is, yes, Saturday, May 19th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., rain or shine.
Okay.
And it is always the Saturday after Mother's Day.
Yeah.
That's kind of like our
Oh, that's an
traditional
easy way
time.
to remember it.
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, I don't know if there's a graphic for it or not. I'm not seeing it. But what is your, like, Facebook address or email or
Yep.
website address or whatever?
Well, if you want to sign up for this year's tag sale, again, there's 2 ways to do it. You can mail in a check for $25, and you write the check to Enfield Food Shelf.
Okay.
But you mail it to us, which is P.O. Box 83, Enfield, Connecticut, 06083. P.O. Box addresses are 83. So again, that's P.O. Box 83, Enfield, Connecticut, 06083.
Perfect.
A $25 check
Okay.
written to Enfield Food Shelf.
Perfect.
We will collect all the checks. We send everybody a tax deductible write-off for
Right.
$25. And this year we've added online payments, which is something that I wanted to bring to the table.
Makes it a little easier.
Yes. So now you can go to EnfieldFoodShelf.org, which
Okay.
is their website themselves, and you'll see a click here to sign up. There'll be a buy now button, PayPal button. And same thing, $25. You just put your address in there. The only thing we ask is if the address of your tag sale differs from that on your check or that on your credit card that you used for PayPal,
Right.
please email us, let us know that, put a note in your
Because you want to get the right address.
Right, because
Right.
my mom, who's older, might not, I might write the check for her because I know she wants to host the tag sale.
Correct.
The check would have my address, so I would just put in the
Right,
memo.
I see.
For the tag sale address, please make it 123 South Street versus the address on the check.
So you have 100 and X amount of tag sales all happening on the same day.
Correct.
Joe Smith's family raises and sells his stuff and gets like $500 worth of sales. Does he keep the $500?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
everybody's
Okay,
tag
I didn't
sale.
know if
Yep.
that might
Nope.
have gone or portion
Yeah,
of it might have
everyone's
gone.
tag sale is their own.
Yep.
Their own
Okay.
Yeah,
money.
the only fee that they're paying is the $25 to the food shelf to be included on our map because we
Right.
create a map, and it's great because you have one piece of paper with all these addresses on it, and if these 10 or 15 are closer to your house, you might just hit those.
So, I mean, that's a really good price for advertising, basically. You're paying $25 for
If you put the same ad in the newspaper, you're
Correct.
going to pay the same, but here it's going to a great cause.
Yeah, and it's
Right.
going to a very specific group of people
Right.
looking for it.
Right.
If you put it in the
You want
newspaper,
this.
Yes.
And
Right.
you
You
know
know, who
that
sees it.
everybody that's out on that day is looking for tag sales.
Correct.
So you know that, I mean, I live on a street that's very off the beaten path. So if I wanted to have one and I had these signs, that would be
Right.
really good for me.
Yes, ma'am,
Right.
and it would, so it benefits you, because you get rid
Yes.
of grandma's stuff from the
Exactly.
basement.
Yep.
And
it
we're
benefits
recycling and we're
Recycling and
repurposing.
all
and-
that stuff.
Your
you're-
trash is always someone else's treasure.
That's
Yeah,
right.
no, I just want to say that
Good.
these signs don't just go to the tag sale addressees, they also go at the end of everybody's street.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she was
So
saying
for-
before.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
and
And we
it's the
do-
three of you basically, or a few of you, who
Yep.
put these out
Yep.
the 3 days before, did you say?
Yeah, we start the
It
Wednesday
takes
before.
that long because there's so
Yeah.
many now. that are
And then
on the
we
map.
collect them all back the following day.
May I mention the Facebook page as
Oh,
well?
please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we also have a specific Facebook page, which is Enfield Townwide Tag Sale. So if you go onto Facebook and you search Enfield Townwide Tag Sale, it takes you right to our page. We're almost up to 850 followers. They're the most active tag sellers. It's the same faces that we see, it's the same names we see come in on the checks.
Yep.
And they all share it. Our final post is usually the day before the tag sale, where it includes the map digitally. So if you don't have this piece of paper, you just go
You
to your
could
Facebook
get
page.
it printed out.
Yep.
Oh, you just do a screen grab.
Just
It's on
have
your
it
phone.
on
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, that's even
No, it's all
easier.
digital now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can have it right on your phone and hit all these addresses. And our last post last year with the map and the addresses was shared over, I think it was 7,000 or 8,000 times.
Oh my goodness.
Because everybody who's doing it shares it, so they get their address
Yeah.
out there, and you get your
Wow.
address out there. So it multiplies. So the post reached almost 10,000 people.
So the tag sale in and of itself must be good advertising for the academy in a way as well, because
I think
people
they
who've never
work
heard of
I
it,
think they work well together. Yes.
right? People
Right.
who've never heard of it are saying
Someone
things
is-
like, you know, well, what is this? What is this group? And then you guys, it's just growing and growing.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
think it more helps out the food shelf. I think there's more of a symbiotic relationship with the food shelf, because we say food shelf on everything, the checks.
Now,
the-
has
the
it been a
page,
food shelf
everything.
all along?
Yep, ever since the
Okay, because
beginning.
I was going to say,
Yep.
it's just if there was a, if that was the reason it was started, was to benefit the food shelf. way
Every
back when,
community
and-
project we
Yeah.
do as a class
So every
benefits
class,
something.
each class,
Yep.
they go through their sessions, they
Mm-hmm.
do their speeches, and then toward the end, there's a community project that class of that year has to come up with to give back to the community.
What do you
whether
mean
it
by
might be
that? A community project?
Something that they come up with together that they want to make a difference in the
The
town of
16
Enfield.
people.
Yep, whoever's in that class.
That year,
You know,
yep.
class 1, 2, 3, 4, we're in class 13.
Like, what have some of them been?
We've done tons. So the tag sale, obviously, which is
Right.
very
That's
well
probably the
known.
biggest one.
They've done a day of play to get families from all around Enfield at different playgrounds, and then they've done a day of play and put out all kinds of outdoor activities.
Nice.
For that, they've done a recycling one. When the town of Enfield was doing new recycle trucks and getting a new logo, they piggybacked off that and did a recycle day to bring recycling and bring all their stuff to the library.
That's
So
perfect.
yeah, they've
A
had
very recent class, their project was to clean up Loaves and Fishes.
Yep.
And they all
Yes.
went and
They
they
went,
raked
cleaned it
and
up,
they
yep.
mowed and they did some yard
Yard
work
work
just
and-
to make
Yes.
the building look as nice as the people
Yep.
that were inside it helping our community. And we also did a paint night fundraiser where we gave it to a women's shelter,
Women's
Women's
shelter,
Children's
yep.
Shelter, every year. Something great. So,
Good. So your experiences have all been positive. I mean,
yes.
you know, what have you like? This may sound a little corny or something, but I like to ask folks this: what have you personally gained from being in this? The three of you, like.
Well, I have the wonderful benefit of teaching it every year, to be part of it. So
Nice.
I always say that I'm so lucky because, you know, it's those refresher courses that you forget in the everyday life, that you have children and you work full time. And then I get to, and again, networking. I meet new people every year, and everywhere that I go, it's so wonderful to see when they're done with the class, moving on and finding what they're doing in the town of Enfield, from Board of Ed, Town Council, running PTOs, running different committees. So I personally have the experience of refreshing and getting better and honing in on my skills.
It's just like
whether
practicing
speech
an
or-
instrument.
Yeah, same thing.
You know.
Because I'm PTO president at my schools. I've been PTO president. I've run I'm on a couple boards in town as well. And being able to remind myself on how to run effective meetings and speak in public is always a wonderful skill to have. How about you?
Melissa, what have you personally, you know, maybe not in the program, but personally gained from it?
Well, like I said, a lot of those skills I took
Yeah.
right back to my job, and I used them every day in my job. I've made a ton of really good friends
Good
through
for
this
you.
program.
Nice.
A lot of people, you know, you show up at a PTO meeting, and half of the people there went through the class
Okay,
at some
we
point. So
graduate.
we all have something in common, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm a big supporter of the class, and I'm always, you know, trying to encourage more people to enroll.
and this is going to help. I mean, just getting the word out.
And the fact that they support the, like I said, this is my baby. I love this.
Yeah.
This is
good for
something,
you.
I'm so happy that we've been able to do it for 8 years.
And the tag sales, crazy.
As long as the town will keep having us,
Yes,
I will
yes.
keep doing
I
it.
have a feeling that's not going to be an issue.
I'm not going to be able to fit them on the paper.
Right? You're going to be going on 2 pieces. Scott, what have you got?
Well, like I said, I went into the class for the networking opportunities, and I feel like that's what I've taken most from the class. I wear many hats in town, including 2 Moms on a Mission with our annual Easter egg hunt on the town green. Things like
That's
that.
another
Are such
good one.
yeah,
by
things
the
like
way.
that are such a joy for me to do, just because it involves the students and the kids, and that's why I'm involved, because
And you get
of my 2
connected.
kids.
You
And
get connected with all those people you meet,
Yep.
and you meet them everywhere, and then you're piggybacking of what they're doing and using their skills, because everyone has their skills and resources, and you kind of use them and utilize them and reach out to them when you need them for different committees and things that you're
I was
doing.
blessed. One of my students in my class was one of the 2 moms, so that's how I one of the hats I wear.
And just
Yeah,
to add
just-
in, Kim, too,
yeah,
same thing,
please.
after our Enfield, so this was one of our community projects, obviously wonderfully sustainable all these years. After everyone has taken the class, they are invited and automatically part of our alumni association.
Yep.
So we go from the Parent Leadership Academy, which is when you're enrolled in the class itself. We have a big graduation. They finish their project, they present it in the town of Enfield, then we move on to a big graduation, and then they're automatically part of our alumni, where we have a board and president in different roles to play.
So you go again from February till
May. about,
Okay.
depending on snow days.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this year
Minnesota.
crazy, especially too. This is a great program, guys. I mean, and if you're even almost curious, look these guys up and get involved and just help out any way you can, because like we're saying, any kind of networking, any kind of getting to meet other people is always a great thing. We've got about a minute left or so, Scott. One more time, just to make sure everybody has the email address, the Facebook address. Go through them one more time. Just
So the Facebook page is Enfield Townwide Tag Sale. The website to register through PayPal, you go right to EnfieldFoodShelf.com, and you'll see a tag sale link at the bottom right of their website. And our email address is
PLAtagsale@yahoo.com.
platagsale@yahoo.com.
Any
For any
questions?
questions. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the regular web page, what was that one more time?
Well, you would purchase your tag sale slot through EnfieldFoodShelf.org.
But I mean, just like your general, you guys have a general Facebook
we
page?
don't
have
have
a
our
Facebook page.
yeah,
We
we have a
don't have a
Facebook
website.
page. Parent
Okay.
Leadership.
Got a webpage, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Parent
If
Leadership
yeah,
Association.
If Parent Leaderships want to go on to apply for the class
Yes.
itself, they can go on to the KITE website, kite.org, and it's on their application
Yep.
form.
Perfect. And just, to wrap it up, I want to thank Melissa, Leslie, Scott for being with us.
Thank you.
This has
Thank
been a
you.
great show, guys. Again, if you're even almost interested, this tag sale is huge, and it's going to get bigger and bigger every year. Everybody loves a tag sale. Come on. So, sign up. And if you see what these guys have to do, go to the tag sales and, help the people that have signed up. And, you never know what you might find. Everybody loves a good tag sale. Again, my name is Kevin Kibbe, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Stay tuned next week. We got more stuff coming. Thank you, and have a great night.